Hit that button, cat!
No.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hey! I'm the host. I said with 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, and.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. See, now I've made a blooper reel for you.
Now you made the introduction. God damn it!
No, it's a blooper reel. It's a blooper.
We've been
now I'm marrying you.
Started now for 10 minutes. Help!
You need somebody. No, wait, that's season 1. Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. This week, we are covering the third and final of the David Tennant 60th Anniversary Specials, The Giggle. And to discuss The Giggle with me, I'm joined by my 3 co-hosts. Firstly, I'll tell you what I really want. It's Freezing Inferno.
Oh, my. Well, at least buy me dinner first.
My visa.
To my virtual right. She wants to make you holler. It's cognitive usurper, better known as Cat.
Can I just say, if we ever do intend to actually get me a visa, this is going to be really difficult because we have recorded proof of me just doing it for a visa.
Oh, no.
They don't have to know about the podcast.
And finally, God damn it, you guys. And finally, all you need is positivity. It's Kuchiri.
Yes, positivity. That's all you need. And a giggle.
Well,
and a giggle.
Poutine and Provel cheese.
Oh, God, no, stop.
And Flaming Bill.
Stop.
I will say, off the top, I have no problems with the giggle. It's the stuff outside of the giggle that I have some problems with.
What?
So this is like the Seinfeld episode about Festivus, the airing of grievances. You've got some problems, and now we're going to hear about them.
Spice up your life?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I mean, curse RTD forever for making that popular again.
What?
Again? It's Spice Girls. Spice Girls is timeless.
Yes.
That's probably true.
She says somebody who still has that exact song on her playlist.
Listen.
So this was your fault. Okay, then.
I mean, Del B has been a American TV host for America's Got Talent for, I don't know, a decade.
That's true.
And then everybody else did nothing.
Well, Jerry Halliwell got married to a Formula One boss, so I think she's winning.
I'm totally innocent in all this, says the person who totally doesn't have a VHS of Spice World in their basement.
I'm coming over.
That
was such a stupid, amazing movie.
You're coming over for the visa and for Spice World.
I can't believe that Roger Moore's in that film, by the way.
And for Kuwait.
A lot of people in that film.
I can't believe they made that film. Well, no, I can.
Meatloaf and Richard E. Grant are in it, yeah.
Meatloaf is in it. Elton John is in it. Richard E. Grant. Fucking.
Well, considering how many movies Elton John agrees to, I'm not surprised by Elton John.
He's basically the Nicolas Cage of singers. He just does it.
I mean, Kingsman Golden Circle, everyone. That's probably one of the best cameos ever in it.
And now Ed Sheeran is taking over the mantle. Kingsman.
Oh, and to circle back to the subject matter, fucking what's her name? Tosh from Torchwood is in it.
Oh my God, she is.
She's the pregnant lady in Spice World.
My God, she is. Anyway, back to the giggle.
Now that we got our useless movie trivia out of the way, back to the giggle.
Yeah. So this was a huge one in every sense of the word. In terms of runtime, it was about an hour in terms of runtime.
All right. An hour and 1 minute.
An hour and 1 minute. Sorry, yes.
As RTD was like, oh, this is so big that it's going to be over an hour. An hour and 1 minute. So avoid spoilers.
I mean, he's technically correct. It is over an hour.
Yes.
He never said it was a lot over an hour.
No, he said the runtime. He just said the runtime after he said it was going to be over an hour.
But yes,
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
But yes, if Wild Blue Yonder was this intimate and strange thing looking forward, this is a big bundle of something or other.
This is balls to the wall, is what this is.
This was definitely written during the pandemic.
I don't buy that because how would he have written this? Like they got the idea to get Tennant and Tate back because
In the pandemic, yeah, exactly.
because of the Doctor Who lockdown. So how could he possibly?
I mean, we had the Among Us episode last week, and now we have Twitter wars over anti-vax this week.
But by the way, we have Emily Cook to thank for these 3 specials indirectly.
Yeah, I mean,
She started the lockdown, the Doctor Who lockdown thing.
Okay, the phrasing is wild. We have Emily Cook to thank. She started the lockdown.
No, the Doctor Who lockdown watch-alongs.
You understand?
She didn't start the lockdown. Boris Johnson did. Or somebody did. Was he dying of the virus at the time? I can't remember. Maybe it was somebody else. But
dying of the virus while also saying, "Oh, all you people, you stay locked down in your homes. You're not allowed to go out." But I'm going to go out and party.
he actually didn't. It was the civil service, but he was still in charge of it. So, yeah.
Anyway, but the thing is, if you were big on Twitter around this time, like someone who's currently banned was, you just got into many, many different groups of people who always thought they were right about the pandemic. Like people who thought that it was a Chinese weapon. They were definitely right because they saw evidence of it somewhere that they couldn't bring up themselves.
Yeah, well, the only weapons there were the people that thought that was true. They're the only weapons involved in that story.
Yeah, but that's what this basically is everyone is fighting each other at the start of this episode because they think they're right.
Yep, they do.
You're not wrong.
And why do they think they're right? Because of Stucky Bill.
Stucky Bill.
And this is one of these wild things where it's based in actual fact. So there really was a Stucky Bill puppet, and John Logie Bird really did use him and pull its head off and set it on fire to make the first broadcast. But it was a test broadcast. I don't think it was ever actually shown to the public.
No,
So
you can find the broadcast somewhere.
Yeah, but I don't think it was supposed to be shown to the public.
What was that, Kat? Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. Honestly, last time I was just in a mood. Honestly, this is one of those things where it's like you can sort of fudge history a little bit like this, where like they have the Sticky Bill. That's a real thing. Or like that. I think it's in England that this happens, but they had that we'll be right back screen where it's like the test screen and it has that child with the really creepy clown.
Oh, the test card! No.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what this is, but I'm afraid of it already.
Hang
I'll
on.
find it for you.
No,
I'll find it for you.
No, don't show me that shit live on the air. No.
So it's called Test Card F. It's called Test Card F. And
it's just basically put up to like test the TV screens, make sure that they were aligned properly, and also
I think it's like the director of the BBC's daughter or something. It's just quite a cute image, or rather, it would be a cute image. But if you turn your attention to the Discord, that's what got shown.
You should totally edit that in, and then when I watch the podcast, as I always do, then I will see the creepy child.
It's funny. Frez says he watches the podcast.
I know, that's such a lie.
It took him 3 months to figure out the Mets edit. He does not watch the podcast.
That's because I was busy watching the Mets, Rain. Sorry, Kat.
God damn it.
But that's the test card.
It's like Rain. I know he's watched every single Kamen Rider podcast and will tell us everything about what's going on it.
Yes, absolutely. When I have the time to do it, which is not now.
Rain, about season 5 of Symphogear.
So test card F.
But no, it's stuff like this. It's honestly stuff like this where you have this random ass image, like, just a little girl with a weird clown doll that is really spooky. But if you can turn that into like a deeper story, which people do all the time, that'd be really fun.
Has Big Fish ever done anything with the test card girl, I wonder? If not, that's my entry for next year's short trip sorted out.
I don't know if anybody has.
We're in the age of creepypasta and analog horror. I mean,
yeah, this is just basically what the entirety of SCP does.
Yeah, Mandela catalog.
Skinamarink?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so them using Stooky Bill like this is on par.
And basically, Stooky Bill's laughter via the Toymaker, who we're going to talk about at length later on, is news to essentially infect the human race slowly. The entirety of the human race, apart from people who've travelled in time, with one exception, which we will get to as well. But yeah, we cut from Stooky Bill to people fighting and people rioting in the street and a stand-in of Wilf, because Bernard Cribbs is not in this episode.
They also use Wilf's line from season 4. Go with the doctor.
Yes.
To be fair, I think Wilf was in the TARDIS at some point. I distinctly remember him standing in the TARDIS for
at
some
the time,
reason.
So he's not affected.
Yes.
Except that's nonsense when we get to the next major scene. But
oh no, great continuity.
So Wilf and Donna are not affected. The Doctor pulls over an angry bald man who starts venting his spleen about things he doesn't like.
Nice recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I realised as soon as I said venting, no, quick, his spleen. I said his spleen!
Anarchy.
No, see, that was used because I brought up Among Us earlier. Now she needs to do it again for your venting comment.
God damn it. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to start talking this and just play it halfway through my next sentence.
What?
Eventually
Me? No. Probably not moving my cursor to hover over it.
I know you are.
Eventually, we're gonna get Rain doing the stop posting about Among Us rant meme. I look at my penis. The guys were right in the astronaut's helmet. They're like, penis. We're like peed sauce. Ah!
Have you seen the remix of that, by the way?
There's like a million remixes.
Someone turned it into a metal track. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful. So, should we talk about this whole bullshit with everyone thinks that they're right all the time?
Politics.
Oh yes, hey, it's a joke about politics. There's even a great joke about the politics where they're in the unit HQ on the TV with the politician. He's like, "Why do I care what any of you think? I'm right." And saw this line of
totally not a Boris Johnson stand-in.
Same as usual, then.
I mean, at least this is more direct instead of farting aliens.
Just like the not at all obvious Theresa May stand-in Revolution of the Daleks.
Oh God.
Farting aliens. When will we ever talk about that shit on the show? God.
We will soon.
Oh God, that's a threat.
That does sound like a threat.
I mean, we have certain guest stars who would be interested in that. Just saying.
Sean Dillon wants to talk about aliens in London?
Sure.
Linda Matt here wants to talk about World War III?
Run, Sean.
The episode, not the actual World War III.
Well, this is interesting, this political...
I want to talk about Sturber Werewolf Bitch with her.
Oh, God.
That'll be interesting.
What?
Have you never seen that? It's got Christopher Lee in it.
What?
It's terrible. There's literally a shot where the lead werewolf rips off her shirt, exposing her tits for everybody, and they replay that scene over and over, especially in the credits.
Speaking of exposing tits, let's talk about everyone exposing their deep dark because they're right.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay. So the whole thing of everyone thinks they're right, it's prickly politics. It is making a point, and indeed the Toymaker later says, "Oh, human beings, they love to play with their cancel culture, so I made them all think they were right."
I'm gonna make a suggestion: never do that German accent again, please.
I can't help it. I slip into it.
I would like to thank
you. Also gotta give it to Neil Patrick Harris, who basically he was told that he was going to be doing weird accents, And it's not him just doing the accents. He was reading a script with the words written that way. So he
Gosh,
he leaned into it even more. Like this.
I'm sorry, but when you said you got to hand it to Neil Patrick Harris, my mind went to drill.
What the fuck?
In regards to the answer to Neil Patrick Harris, you do not, in this circumstances, got to hand it to him.
But you can make a real pun about you got to hand it to him, considering what happens to the first Doctor Who in the original Toymaker story.
Yes, that's true. But
Very
anyway, yeah, the
can
politics
say-
of this are interesting. The idea that everyone thinks they're right, therefore they win the game, but then that way everyone loses.
you can
Again-
say that these are interesting, but I say who.
Yeah, it's also disturbing
It's
as hell.
horrifying, but it's also interesting.
But Jerry's happy because the show's saying something about something, so...
For a brief moment before we get into, look, I brought an obscure 60s villain back.
In fairness, he was terrific, but...
And I will say, in fairness to that, to undercut my point, I do appreciate RTD's approach where he didn't start from, ooh, what obscure 60s villain can I bring back for the anniversary? No, he came up with the whole Ncuti Bill thing and the history of television, and then he was like, so we need somebody who's controlling the puppet. Oh, Doctor Who lore already has a weird fucker like that who likes to play with. Oh yeah, the Toymaker. Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? That was his.
That's the way to go about it, isn't it?
And,
yeah.
Yeah. He started with an original idea and married it to a piece of Doctor Who lore ephemera instead of being like the lore. We must reference the lore, which I appreciate. I appreciate that. But
Yeah.
this is briefly about something. The politics and the always right. A point is being made, and then the point is made even more horrifying later. Kat?
Okay, so is it all right if we start touching on Kate for a little bit here?
Yes,
I was just about to do that, so please do.
Yeah. So I do. There's one thing that kind of semi-ruins this whole thing for me, and that is the fact that they don't fully explain. Like, one could argue that maybe they don't fully know, but they don't fully explain exactly what the Toymaker is doing to people. Because so to demonstrate to the Doctor exactly what's going on, Kate takes off her armband, which is stopping her from, being horrible and, thinking she's right and everything. And she goes on this whole diatribe, including pointing to Shirley, who is a wheelchair user, but does have the ability to use her legs because we see her get up and sit in a chair. Obviously not for a very long time, although honestly, I don't know exactly what her disability is. But she basically... Yes, to Kuchiri. I know. Let me finish. But she basically looks at Shirley and goes on this horrible diatribe about, I've seen you use your leg. You're not actually disabled. And it's like, no. Anyways, Kuchiri, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, one, I was going to bring up the armbands. Like, they kind of know what's triggering the whatchamacallit with the armbands, because there's this whole mirror to the anti-vax movement with a TV reporter being like, oh, these things don't work.
Not just a TV reporter.
Yeah.
Trinity goddamn Wells.
But
like, we know who that is.
Shirley has, I think, spina bifida. Like, her spine is like all twisted.
Spina bifida, yes.
There's a picture. She took a picture of her in a swimsuit on her Twitter, and like, it's a picture of her back, and you can see, like, most people with disabilities, sometimes you don't see it, but like, you could clearly see hers. And so I love how this episode somehow predicted the always right Twitter culture about how this girl was faking her legs and her being a wheelchair thing, where she had the picture of her back as one of the most recent images on her Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to predict that people on Twitter will be fucking assholes. I mean, they banned you for talking about a transphobe doing something of their own volition with a cactus, for Christ's sakes. Of course.
But the reason I say that I wish they had explained more Kuchiri is specifically because like we all have our inner thoughts, and what makes people good or bad can also depend on actually voicing those inner thoughts. And the thing that really gets to me that I don't like is that they're basically implying that Kate's inner thought is, oh, I've seen you walk, so therefore obviously you don't need the wheelchair. And like you could excuse it as being like the Toymaker influencing their minds, but it feels really squicky to me because they don't actually fully explain that.
Before I let Frezno talk, can I counterpoint? Maybe like this whole Giggle thing is adding toxicity to everything, just like social media does.
Well, that's what I mean with like, it could be the Toymaker is influencing them further, but they don't actually say that. They just say that the Toymaker is making everybody think that they're right.
What's up, Frez?
So I just want to say that I'm on Kat's side with this, more so because no matter what the Giggle is actually doing to people, you can ignore all that and just go with the rather sensible thing of, I don't want to see beloved Doctor Who fan character Kate Stewart be a fucking bigoted piece of shit to her employee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not she's being influenced by this bullshit, if it's adding these thoughts into her head or if it's amplifying something which is already there, either one of those is fucking horrifying. And either way, you're seeing it and you don't want to see it.
You see her horrified by it. You see her horrified by it after she gets the armband back on.
Yeah, but it's still the fact they had her say it, essentially.
True. But it's prickly. It's definitely prickly.
What's up, Rain?
Well, this is what I want to talk about because they said that, people that have traveled in time or traveled in the TARDIS were out of sync with the Giggle, so they weren't affected by it. Kate's traveled in the TARDIS.
When?
Oh, shit.
The Power of the Doctor and the Flux.
Oh.
Kate's literally traveled in the TARDIS.
Oh,
Certainly in the Power of the Doctor, she has that, he says, she says, the Doctor wants to everyone in the TARDIS. She also sounds like me too, and then just goes in. So she's been in the TARDIS too.
Oops. Great continuity.
What's a prolonged exposure to it?
It's a powerful. I suppose that's the way to get around. But it's a powerful scene. It's a very squishy scene, but it's a powerful scene.
You know what? While we're talking about this powerful scene, Mel's there.
Hey. Before we get into Mel, there is something I do want to mention further about the whole Kate thing, and then we can stop on it. The thing that really gets me is they have this horrible thing that Kate says, and she gets the armband back on. She immediately apologizes, and Shirley's like, "You know what? It's fine. I get it. It wasn't you." Perfectly fine. Great scene. Well, not great scene, but you know what I mean. It's a perfectly fine scene. And then, like 5 seconds later, immediately the Doctor is like, "Oh man, you humans, you're terrible people.
Yeah,
you're all like violence and mean to each other." It's like, did we not just seriously?
That did seem a bit out of left field.
RTD, your midnight is showing.
Yes. I mean, if you're going to be influenced by any Doctor Who story, how about one of the best of all time you've ever written?
No, but you know what I mean. Like, it's a great story, but at the same time, any utopian idealism is dashed upon the fucking rocks by it. And it's just like, man, humanity is just like the fucking worst, aren't they?
Utopia.
I mean,
one thing.
It's not the first time he's had a freak out on humanity. So it's like this is stuff he's talked about, or I mean, I think even Whittaker had a similar thing in her very unactive tenure, but
who the fuck knows what that Doctor thought? It's all over the place.
But anyway, Unit also gives us a returning character. And I knew she was going to be in season 1, but this really surprised me because Mel's back.
Yay.
Again, right off of her stint as a Doctor Who support group member.
Yeah, so
they're going to recruit new employees.
Exactly.
Mel is here. Hooray.
I mean, she does give a very good explanation as for why she works here now.
It's almost like the two events were linked or something.
It's also almost like, she was introduced as a computer programmer and never really got to do her special thing in her original tenure, so now she gets to do it here.
I don't want to sound the Merovingian, but causality.
Oh, I do
I
love.
drink too much wine, I must take a piss.
I do love the little shout out that they give to Glitz.
Oh, God. He died falling over a bottle of whiskey.
Hey, remember when on this show you were like, "Oh no, Tony Selby died. Rip in peace," and we were all sad. And then it turned out that Tony Selby hadn't died, and we were like, "Oh, great." And then a couple months later, it turned out that he actually did die, and we were like, "Oh no, rip in peace."
Yeah, two Tony Selbys died in the same year. What are the chances of that happening?
Well, yeah, but Mel's here. I don't really have much to say on that beyond neat.
No, we know she's going to be a more important background character going forward now with this new Avengers Tower unit thingy.
Oh, God, Avengers Tower, it is.
I mean, it is.
It is.
Basically,
Son of a bitch, it is.
it
just is.
Yeah, it's basically just we're marveling this shit up now. Which
Okay, so I'm going to retire the Elon shot because it hurts my throat. But Michael Mouse.
What?
Michael Mouse.
Oh, I thought you were yelling at Mike for a second.
No, Michael Mouse is in Mickey Mouse.
Oh.
Wait, did someone mention the Wizard of Oz?
Mike.
God, I saw a clip of a Christmas Story, which is full of fucking Wizard of Oz references, and like Mike is totally the kid in line for Santa. He's got these goggles on. He's just talking to the main kid. He's like, "I like the Wizard of Oz. I like the Tin Man."
By the way, Mike, if you're listening, I know you. And if you're watching and listening to this, I know you will. We do mean it in jest.
Yes,
Mostly.
You're fine. You're fine.
Mostly.
We're gonna get this dingus to watch Quantum Leap in 2024. You wait.
A lot of truth is said in jest, but it's mostly done in jest.
Mostly. So,
But yeah, Mel's here. Mel does things.
God help us. Should we talk about Neil Patrick Harris?
I'm just checking if there's anything else to mention.
I mean,
we can talk about that as we get to yes. Oh, speaking of the devil, Mike has just tweeted about Michael Mouse or in the Discord.
How the fuck? Hang on.
Disney will lose the copyright to Mickey Mouse next year.
Oh, right.
Well, technically, it's Steamboat Willie. It's not Mickey Mouse itself.
Then CBS News is doing a clickbait, and I hate them for it.
Well, okay.
But yeah, the main attraction, or at least the main advertised attraction of this particular special, the return of the Toymaker. And let's just touch a little bit, and I'll do it so that Frezno's blood pressure doesn't go up. Let's just touch on who the Toymaker is or was.
Please do.
So the Toymaker, originally known as the Celestial Toymaker, but that's racist, so we've dropped that.
Well, we'll be talking about that near the end of the show.
But they used that term in the right way.
I still hate it.
That's Davis trying to reclaim the term and use it in the right way, I think. But yeah,
We'll
the
I don't know
Toymaker,
what we're talking about.
the word celestial.
It's a term they sometimes use for Chinese people, and the original actor wore a more Chinese-looking garb, but he was white.
Exactly, yes. The Chinese Empire was something called the Celestial Empire, and so Celestials was a slur for Chinese people, which has been...
Man, that really puts the Marvel Celestials in perspective for me.
No, because Celestial also means referring to the stars.
Oh, I know, but still.
So
I didn't know that.
most people, when they use it, are not using it to refer to Chinese people. So I think it's okay, but just in case...
I just realized what they call him. Ew.
Yes. But that was
And
the name of
the
the...
original guy is wearing this Mandarin-style outfit, and they are calling him that. So, yeah!
The original guy being Michael Goff.
Alfred from the Batman film.
Yeah. In some respects, the best Alfred.
Alfred, you betrayed us. Again.
He would turn up in Doctor Who in another role that I'm not going to talk about in case we do that story. But
I ain't picking that fucking story. It's going to be one of you people picking that one.
What story is it, Frez?
he's not going to tell you.
I abstain. I plead the Fifth Amendment, which I am not from.
Give me
Anyway,
5 seconds.
the Something Toymaker is a 1968 serial with William Hartnell and Michael Gough. And the original idea of it is actually quite clever. The idea of
the Arc of Infinity.
The idea of playing games. I'm ignoring it now. The idea of playing games with dolls that come to life. Initial concept, great. Execution, I'm not quite sure why people want this to come back.
Here. I can give you a little education here. So, all of you know this because I mentioned it in the Discord leading up to the holiday, but I'm going to let all of you in at home on this holiday tradition I have. Every year on Christmas Eve for the past 10 years or so, I have sat down with an adult beverage and watched the worst Doctor Who episode of a specific Doctor. And this year, given that we're talking about this character's return, I sat down once more with the original 60s Toymaker serial. And while, yes, it is a good idea on paper that it's a weird and mystical world where you have to play games to survive and there's some surrealist stuff, it's not that great. It really isn't that great.
It isn't.
And it garnered the reputation it did, I think, because, it probably stood out to people in the 60s at the time, and then you couldn't see it for 20 years, so yeah, they built it up in their imaginations. And then they finally found an episode, and it's like, oh, they're just jumping around on triangles, and here's a shitty little schoolboy playing tricks on them. It's not that great a serial, and honestly, if you want that weird surreality of, oh, we're outside of space and time and anything's possible, just watch The Mind Robber. It's right there.
He's right.
And in modern times, if you want if you want to show that's about, ooh, they're playing games, but it could be deadly, this fucking Squid Game is right there, and that has something to say about capitalism and crippling debt and lots of other neat things. So we don't need that Toymaker serial. Kuchiri?
Wasn't the Toymaker originally planned to be the regeneration episode? Like, instead of regeneration, the whole twist was the Toymaker was just going to change the Doctor's face by the end of it.
There's something like that was
I
planned.
believe that was a plan that was suggested but not used, yes.
I mean, for like half the story, William Hartnell is turned invisible, and I guess the idea would have been, I'll turn you back. Oh, look at that. Oh, you're Patrick Troughton now. Oh, I decided to change your face. I'm a weirdo.
So I'm reading the wiki page for the Toymaker, and oh boy, it's a ride. The Toymaker met Clara.
I know, I hate it.
In a comic.
Oh, yeah, he's been in a lot of novels. He has a sister who's as powerful as he is.
He's been in some audios as well. He's been in an audio called The Nightmare Fair, where he goes up against the Sixth Doctor.
Yeah, and that was
Crazy Meets Crazy
story.
Which, Kat, fun fact, if you don't know about that was actually supposed to be a televised story, but they put the show on
it was
hiatus.
in season 23, but then they got rid of it because, season 23.
Yeah, they put it on hiatus.
I'll take you to freeze frame.
Yeah, he was going to say, he was going to say Blackpool, which I'm sure Ray is outraged.
Or Blackpool.
He got shafted again. God damn it.
Michael Great, how dare you take away a story set in your hometown?
So it was the Toymaker that put the orange netting on Blackpool Tower.
Oh, but let's talk about our current Toymaker, played by the legend. Wait for it, Derry near Patrick Harris.
Okay, I like the wait for it. I know what that's a reference to. That's why I liked it.
We know.
Yeah. So Neil Patrick Harris is the Toymaker, and to say he steals the show is an understatement.
Yes.
I mean, if you gave him 5 seconds, he might literally steal the show.
With all the fucking baggage of the Toymaker, I'm not exactly pleased to the punch that this interesting 60s villain was dusted off. But that being said, Neil Patrick Harris is good as this character.
He's menacing. Like, in the intro, like there's a scene between the guy who buys Stucky Bill to give to the person doing the first television thing, and Neil Patrick Harris, and the guy's like, "Oh, is this rare hair? Oh, yes, from a pretty brunette. She won't be missing it."
Yeah.
Just the random, like, sinister, like, oh.
Also, unfortunately, he's racist in this scene, and it was intentional.
Yeah,
Not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, because RTD, his decision to tackle the baggage of the Toymaker is to go, oh, yeah, this godlike being from beyond the universe, he really likes to culturally appropriate human beings.
Because he's playing around.
Yeah, which...
Also, it could be that because... I'm sorry to call it back to the original Toymaker story. In that story, he's defeated because the Doctor imitates his voice.
Yes.
So it could be that he's trying to stop that from happening again.
Yes, he changes up his accent. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's your continuity. He changes up his accent so that he can't have his voice imitated and be defeated. Even though I honestly don't know, like, the circumstances are completely fucking different. So imitating the Toymaker's voice at any point during this, I don't see how it would have defeated him in the same way as in the original 60 story. But
I have a question related to that, and I'm probably going to regret asking. So obviously he does a stereotypical German accent this time. Did he do a different type of stereotypical accent last time?
No, he spoke in Englishman.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I was so worried.
It was Michael Goff sound like Michael Goff.
Okay, that works. That works for me.
He doesn't really, but at the same time, when you're looking at a white guy in that outfit, and you only have the audio because 3/4 of it is a missing story, your brain kind of makes you hear it, but I don't know if he's actually doing it.
He's not.
Okay.
Trust me, as someone who knows what Michael Goff sounds like, he's just doing himself, essentially.
Fair enough. We'll leave the cultural problematic bullshit at the title and the outfit.
I heard that, Cat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I heard Bow Chicka Wow Wow.
Well, he said he was doing himself.
Oh my god.
Bow Chicka Wow Wow.
But it's interesting how they do the reveal when they're like, oh my, when the Doctor and the Toymaker finally recognize each other, is that they flash to
someone is recognizing me.
Yeah, they flash to like screen cap stuff from the 60 story,
and it's all colorized.
It's colorized, which I think actually I think it came from the you mentioned last time the color.
Yeah, it's in the darks in color.
Yeah, and they had that little preview of all sorts of stories. I gather this was one of them.
The show, the Toymaker, like grinning and laughing, is in that recap. Yeah, I don't know if William Hartnell was, or if that was another colorized thing, but it's a neat way to just contextualize it for people that don't know about the original story. That these two have met each other, but they look very, very different back then.
The funniest way to recontextualize bringing back 60-year-old lore is going to be Twice Upon a Time, which opens with previously on Doctor Who 807 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Footage from the 10th planet.
Yeah, I mean, the show now is just breaking the fourth wall of fun and profit, as we'll discover when we get to the church on Ruby Road. But
gosh.
So, what else shall we say about the time? Well,
we should say how the Toymaker somehow got to this world, or how the Doctor believes he did.
Oh yes, the Doctor screwed up.
Whoops! Salt and at the edge of the universe, let this shithead in. Which I don't understand how that happened, considering he was just fine peeking through in the 60s
without playing a game and let him in, so someone else played a game and let him in.
Or any of the other times in any of the other expanded media, he's just sort of like pops into the reality and it's like, let's play a little game.
Well, as Neil Patrick Harris himself says, that this face is hiding an infinite complexity of he's like a not even a centuries old being. He's as old as time itself, if not older.
He's a god.
He's bigger than the god. He turned God to a Jack in the Box.
Honestly, I think you remember how Beep the Meep mentioned his boss and how his boss would be very displeased about all this. And then I think later on, Neil Patrick Harris, as the Toymaker, mentioned something about like the Great One or something like that.
The one who waits.
Could it be possible that maybe the one who waits is the one who brought the Toymaker over?
Entirely possible.
Oh boy.
Guess what? We won't find out until at least the next series with Ncuti Gatwa in it.
We're really seeding those mystery box seeds, huh?
Yeah, no, we're currently we're recording this after Church of Ruby Road. Sorry to break the immersion.
Like
we're on to what, 5 or 6 mysteries now from these 4 specials.
boy,
To which I have to say just this: it's the Ronnie dumbass. So back to Neil Patrick Harris.
Before that, I just want to say, you know, I have a very interesting take on mystery boxes now that I've lived through, you know, Moffat, where the entire point was the mystery box doesn't matter, you stupid dipshit, focus on the characters. Or Chibnall, where the entire point was, oh, you were intrigued? Oh, okay, I don't know what to do now. I'm just going to put this over here now, and we will never speak of it again. Or, you know, anything that J.J. Abrams did with a certain space movie.
This is going to be purely for Kuchiri because he'll know what I'm talking about. This is just the FNAF 4 box.
Oh my god!
Clearly, Jerry also knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, we don't need to talk about FNAF boxes. After all, that's just a theory.
God damn it!
Where's my slow clap button?
You
know what? I'll just do this one.
Very impressive.
Anyway,
That's better than a slow clap.
speaking of
Condescended to by GLaDOS.
Speaking of Moffat and science fiction stories, we get a quick rundown of Moffat in this episode.
All right, RTD, you are pandering to me, and I fucking love it.
Are you talking about the puppet show?
I mean, it's shit up.
Yeah, I mean, if you were ever going to have someone to do this scene, it's Neil Patrick Harris because he actually is a puppeteer.
I mean, I will say before we get into that, just very quickly, that the entire atmosphere of the Toymaker's mystery realm of non-logic and endless corridors and shit is wild. Because first Tennant has that encounter with the dude, the guy who got Dookie Bill, and he's been turned into a puppet. And then the fucking sky opens up and giant Toymaker puppeteering, and then it has Tennant's face. That's some wild shit. And then
I thought I was clever.
Yeah, and then Donna with the rhyming puppet.
Oh God, Sticky Sue.
Oh God, the way she rhymes and she beats the shit out of it is so good.
Hello, Sue. My name's Donna. I really think that you're a goddess. Bang!
Holy fuck, I love her. Okay, that's all I had to say about that. That's nice. What did you
Right.
have,
Yeah, so he's actually a puppeteer in real life. He's Neil Patrick Harris. He's an incredibly talented dude.
Oh, lit.
He can also juggle, so he was the perfect person to play the Toymaker.
And so this puppet show does have double meaning, as we'll see to the ending, because you know.
Yeah.
But here we are. It's a little puppet show for Donna's benefit about all the companions who Doctor Who met. Well, after he left.
Well, not all, thank God.
And so this is beautiful because, you know, it's RTD, I guess, lightly ribbing Moffat for the way that all his companions have kind of the same ending, where, oh, they died, but then.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Amy. Oh, it's the Doctor and Amy. They traveled together. But then she was killed by the weeping angel. No, she got to live out the rest of her life. Oh, well, that's all right then.
Yeah.
She was touched by the weeping angel.
And she died.
No, she lived to a very old age. Well, that's all right then.
Yeah.
And of course, then, well, and then, of course, he brings out Clara, which. Like, okay.
His face, by the way, he says, and then she was killed by a bird.
No. And then she was killed by and then he like rolls his eyes, like trying to figure out what actually happened to Clara, because she took someone else's death, but it was represented by a raven flying into her.
No. I've got it. Hang on. I can present. Oh, no, that's closed caption. Wrong button.
Frez has heard the Clara slander, and he wishes to present his case.
Here we go.
Frezno would like to speak to the manager. That's 2 monkeys.
No. The Toymaker makes that face because he's like, wait, really? She got killed by a shadow bird after accepting someone else's death.
Yeah.
What?
She still lives in the last second of her life. Well, that's all right then.
It is. It is all
I
right.
love the cut to his face every time.
Yes.
It is such a strong cut because it's like an exclamation point.
The
will
best
say-
one, though, is when he brings up Bill.
Wait. Okay, Rain. You can't stop me from talking about Clara that fucking easy.
I can, but I won't succeed. Go ahead.
No, but listen. It's been like 8 years. I gotta have my moment. Okay,
It's been only 4 years. Carry on.
But yeah, the way that Tennant as 14 knows exactly what happened to Clara, even though Capaldi probably shouldn't, unless Twice Upon a Time let him know that she
No,
went off her own diner and then accepted her death.
Twice Upon a Time, there's a whole, like you just said, you watched this episode.
Yeah,
I
don't know if he
sees her, and he's like, "Oh, I remember everything," and she goes, "Oh, forgave me. The first time was rude."
Yeah. Okay. Like, one, that scene always makes me cry. I watch it every Christmas, and it always makes me cry. And two, there were people who didn't know if that meant that remembering all his travels with Clara also meant that he somehow knew. Oh, she actually went off in a diner TARDIS, and
Well, he would have remembered the conversation he had with her in the diner, and would have pieced two and two together at that point.
All his memories of her are back. So
I'm being explained the finer plots of Hellbent. This is the fucking first. What a role!
How does it fit me? Well, actually,
well. All I have to say is, well, that's all right then.
but yeah, the best one is Bill. And Bill, she was killed by the Cybermen. Because she survived. Oh well, that's all right then.
No. I love the way also the Toymaker is like, I bet he met Bill, not Stucky Bill, but Bill Potts.
Yeah, Lady Bill.
Lady Bill.
Lady Bill.
And then he brings out the flux.
Yeah.
Which, hey,
here we go again.
Chibnall introduced both the Timeless Children and the flux, yet seemed to have forgotten about both of them during the final year of 13. And then we, get to RTD, and in the last 4 specials with RTD, not only have they been brought multiple times, done right.
Yeah, Davis handled it better in 4 minutes than Chibnall did in 4 years.
Which is kind of pathetic.
Because, well, you say that, Rain, but, it's because he handles it at all.
True.
Yeah.
So you tell me that the watch is going to be brought back in season 1?
No.
Oh, God.
Imagine if it did. But I will just say, before we get to what this leads to, Neil Patrick Harris is a puppeteer and was puppeteering this entire scene himself.
Adorable.
God damn. There were 2 people handing him puppets off stage, which, all right, had assistants. But the actual puppetry work and cutting all the strings, all him.
If I could have one prop from Doctor Who, I want that Clara puppet.
All you got to do is become Russell T Davies' friend, and maybe it will happen.
Hey, Rain, you want to go to Cardiff for a road trip?
So you just distract everyone talking about Doctor Who, and I'll just nip in the back and nick the puppet.
This leads to the Doctor getting fed up and going, "I challenge you to a game."
Oh, this scene's amazing.
Oh,
The dialogue in this scene is amazing. One of the coldest lines in Doctor Who history. I gambled with God and made him a jack-in-the-box. Jesus!
Found the master dying and turned him to a gold tooth.
Yeah, see
and
the
also the
said it's gold
implication
too.
that God is real in that universe, or at least he used to be.
Yeah, and then we get the mention of the one who waits. This is just done brilliantly because he drops the accent.
Sorry, didn't mean to. Yeah,
sorry, he drops the German accent.
Yeah, he also points out that some of the plot holes, because now we have multiple different explanations for plot holes. Is it?
Oh God, yeah,
saving the Doctor in the last minute. No, he's like, I made a jigsaw of your life. It's like,
I made a jigsaw out of your history. Did you like it?
There you go, kids. The plot holes have been fucking filled. I know. I made a jigsaw of your history. Now there are 3 Atlantises in Earth history.
So now, if a plot hole is somehow the Doctor survived, that was Clara saving him. The plot hole.
Oh god, if this Toymaker ever beats that Clara, we're doomed.
RTD is like, I've got some spackle, damn it.
I was just thinking 75th anniversary. Is Jenna Coleman free that year? Was Neil Patrick Harris free that year?
Do not tempt him.
But we get this scene where Neil Patrick Harris is shuffling this deck, and they basically said, yeah, we're just going to cut the deck, highest number wins. And Donna's like, but he'll cheat. And the looks on both Tennant and Harris's faces, like that was like the nastiest insult that Donna could ever say.
Harris says to her, shame.
Which is funny because in the 60s Toymaker serial, well, the Toymaker doesn't really cheat, but you know, the entire like basic plot of the story is William
His
Hartnell
players cheat, but not him himself.
Yeah, the players are cheating because basically half episode 1 is Steven and Dodo are playing some game with a bunch of clowns, and the clowns are cheating. They're cheating their fucking asses off.
They're playing blind man's buff, and they're just lifting the blindfold every time.
Yeah. And
I don't know. So that's not it. It's a see-through blindfold.
Yes. And while Steven is playing, the other clown is messing around and turning him around and moving shit and getting his way, and all kinds of this shit. So it's like, the Toymaker's offended. But meanwhile, I'm like, are you telling me that the godlike fucking being who turned God into a jack-in-the-box and the master in the tooth is sitting here and his clowns are cheating? He's like, oh, I don't notice that.
Well, he if you notice, in all these games, he tries to get himself into a higher advantage. As you know, we will find out during the climax of this episode, he's like trying to explain an extra rule to the game, and he just instantly throws when he doesn't think the David Tennant is paying attention. You know.
Yeah, but that's
like,
not
it's
cheating. It's not cheating per se.
Yeah, but it is giving himself an unfair advantage in games.
Exactly.
But
I mean, one could argue he doesn't cheat himself, but you know, other people can cheat.
Yeah, I just got the image now of the like the Toymaker system runs in and goes, Toymaker, the clowns are cheating, and the Toymaker goes, I don't know her.
No, you were saying something. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying that, like, even having other people cheat and be like, "Oh, that's just incidental." That's like, I mean, okay, maybe from like the god-like immortal being's perspective, it doesn't fucking matter. But from my perspective as a human being on planet Earth, when your entire fucking deal is, I want to play games and they're real and they're winner-take-all games. Ooh, you bet your life on this game. I'm all about playing games. Playing them fucking fairly seems like the main point of that. If you're just going to cheat or condone cheating, what's the fucking point? Just kill them.
It's like hackers on online games, isn't it? What's the point?
But they play high card, and the Toymaker wins. But luckily, the Doctor convinces him, best out of 3. I won in the 60s. You won here. So we're going to play best out of 3.
Can we call out the design on this playing card and how there was arguments over if it was Matt Smith or not, but it just turned out to be the original actor's face on the card?
That wasn't the argument I had. Was it the Chinese Toymaker design? No, it wasn't. It's just Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh God.
I don't think it's Neil Patrick. I think it's just
Michael Goff.
Goff.
Well,
anyway,
whoever it is, he's not dressed like a Chinese person, so that's a plus.
We should talk about it now.
Also, the bit when he says, let's make it 2023, and the auditorium starts collapsing, and Kevin Taker's the best line.
Best all
Donna,
3.
I'm already running.
Best all 3. So I'll see you in 2023.
Yeah. But just in it, she's self-aware of this point to start running.
Honestly, Donna was great this entire episode. She was the one who figured out it was the familiar tune, which led them to the giggle. And it's like she's been helping out. And it's like she still has her moments of like, I have no idea what.
And then Mel sang the tune because Bonnie Monk has been on Broadway, so we have to get that in there.
And And she's also an expert negotiator when it comes to jobs.
Oh my god,
Oh,
yes.
hell yeah!
Damn
I love
straight.
that bit.
Just as an aside to everybody out there who's possibly, going for a new job or is getting an offer or is looking for a new job, always negotiate. Use Glassdoor, figure out what the proper price point is for yourself out there and negotiate.
Know your worth.
Especially if you're female or
Oh, yeah,
female
'cause
presenting.
Kate offers Donna a job. And she's like, "Here's your salary," and it's like she doubles it and 5 weeks off. Done.
Beautiful.
And then Kevin Ted Frezno is like, "Yes."
Can we
The
talk
I
about
worst
believe
that the
that word.
employer will say is no, and they'll give you a reason why. If they say no and start slamming you for that, that's somebody you don't want to work for anyways, because
Yeah.
they'll be like that all the time.
Walk away.
Can we please talk about it? We waited to talk about it this entire fucking
Yes,
time.
because the Toymaker is here in 2023 to spice up our lives.
Oh, well, okay.
Is it time
look,
for a YouTube copyright claim?
Fun fact,
Well-
you can actually download this whole bit without the song and add your own song in if you want to.
Yeah, the Giggle unspiced.
oh,
People
no.
put
I need
Now
this.
you've-
I need this. I need
now
this.
you've given Kat
I need
unlimited
this.
power.
I need this.
Okay. I just want to say, as a child of the 1990s who was into this band, this was a fucking trip.
I loved it.
If I had a nickel for every time an enemy of the Doctor appeared in a musical number, I'd have
I-
3 nickels at this point.
I hate
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fact. I hate the fact that I know exactly what you're talking about, and I hate the fact that I remembered it. So
Well,
I
this
hate
is just
you.
a retread of I Can't Decide with the Master in Lost in the Time Lords.
But
Oh,
But that
I
scene
was
was
thinking
great.
of Rasputin.
No,
that works
it's
too.
also that. But that scene was great.
Ah.
This scene was amazing. And this scene's even better.
This is the best one.
Because my God, can Neil Patrick Harris dance despite saying to everyone that he can't dance?
Oh, y'all are
just fucking
fucked
love-
now.
I
have
just
to
fucking
file.
love the way that he's just so joyously sadistic when he's lip syncing to the song as he's dancing.
Yes.
I think my favorite move is he's teleporting all around the place, but when you get to Colors of the World, spice up your life, it cuts to him next to I think it's Shirley, and he's got a phone. He picks up the phone.
Yes.
And he just meows, spice up your life.
This took a lot of
I
takes
think
because every time he did something like that, Ruth May just cracked up laughing.
As she would. You just got Neil Patrick Harris in a fucking bad outfit going.
And I think Redgrave started laughing. Neil Patrick Harris started laughing. He was just cracking people up, and who can blame him?
Well,
Two
well, the
unit
thing
guns
is-
started laughing, and then they got turned into balls.
Oh, that's horrendous.
No. Neil Patrick Harris actually said for the months leading up to this shoot, he had Spice Up Your Life as his alarm. Because
Absolutely iconic.
and he's like, I've never heard the song before this year, and now I've listened to it
Honestly,
every day.
King shit.
No, honestly, if the American Doctor Who would have kicked off back in the 90s, I would have loved to see Neil Patrick Harris as like an 11th or 12th Doctor. I think he would have done the role justice.
Yeah, but I'm glad that we got him in this role because he's just amazing.
God, oh God,
He throws Kate into the wall. He throws Mel to the ground. Oh,
I thought
He's
you were
making
gonna-
all the bullets turn into roses, and he's doing rose angels.
yeah.
He's just basically what's that one movie? American
Beauty.
American Pie or something?
Beauty.
No.
American
Beauty.
Beauty, that's it.
It's the one where Kevin Spacey reveals that he's a little bit of a pedophile. Wait, what?
Ugh.
Oh, did you have to, Vo?
I mean,
Life-
at the
life
very least,
imitates
not every
reality.
Kevin Spacey movie is ruined. Wait.
He was found. I will just point out on a point of legal technicality, he was found not guilty. But
But the movie is about a dad who's crushing on a 16-year-old girl.
Oh wait, I'm
Yes.
sorry. I'm sorry. You're saying Kevin Spacey was found not guilty?
he was found not guilty. I have to
Tell
just
me
mention
it
that as a legal point of reference.
It played, right?
No.
No.
Didn't.
Son of a bitch. Hang on.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, that's why.
Okay, we'll try that again. He was found not guilty.
Oh, he was found not guilty, hey?
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Podcast. Where can you find the train?
I was expecting him to go wrong.
Oh,
Yes, oh God, bitches.
oh Christ!
Oh.
Is that why we were 20 minutes late? Because you were trying to find that to work at the soundboard and it broke everything?
No, actually, literally just a few seconds ago, I found it and was cropping it and everything. So this was mid-podcast.
Incredible.
Son of a bitch.
So I just want to say this is the greatest Spice Girls moment since the time that Eric Andre asked Mel B if Margaret Thatcher had girl power.
No.
No.
Yes, the answer is no.
If you haven't heard it, I'm just going to explain the bit. He's like, do you think Margaret Thatcher had girl power? Yes, absolutely. Do you think she successfully used girl power to fund paramilitary squads in Northern Ireland? Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, he completely blindsided her.
It's so
Why do
good.
people do that? Why do people go up to celebrities like, hey, here's this really hard-hitting political question that you have no ability to research or come up with any idea in this moment of time? Talk.
Kat, we're talking about... okay, Kat, you're right. But also, we're talking about the Eric Andre show where Kristen Ritter was once blindsided with 2 Girls, 1 Cup. It's kind of the name of the game.
What?
Why?
No, that's a real clip.
Oh my God.
Eric Andre is also the one who randomly shot, like as a skit, shot his guest and then blamed someone else for shooting his guest.
No,
That's the name.
the meme.
Yeah.
I might regret saying this, but I have been very lucky in that I have never actually been surprised with 2 Girls, 1 Cup or have seen it ever.
Lucky you. I have.
And now I'm never going to open up another link on Twitter ever again.
Right, Cat. That meme is dead. No one's going to surprise you with that shit.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
You're welcome.
Anyway, it's the final confrontation with the Toymaker.
Yeah,
Rickroll.
he's had just another change of wardrobe. He has like 4 or 5 in this. He has the Toymaker outfit with the leather apron. He has the song and dance outfit, which he starts dancing with the Doctor, but the Doctor just mistakes it for one of the people that have lost their minds out in the street.
Oh, the Fred Astaire look. I thought you were going to
Yeah.
talk about. I thought you were talking about the school band thing with Spice Up Your Life.
Then his cheer band outfit, whatever it is, for Spice Up Your Life. And then
Marching band.
he's a gunner.
Okay, yeah.
Not a gunner, not yet, a gunner.
Yeah, he's got, the pilot goggles, and he's got one of Unit's giant laser guns, which they were...
The galvanic beam, which is funny because in the commentary for this episode, David Tennant's there, and Dave says to the galvanic beam, when was the last time you saw a galvanic radiation? I don't know. It killed you.
Oh. Yeah, well, they really should have just called this Chekhov's gun.
It really is.
But, yeah, oh, no, I've got a big laser. I'm going to destroy everything.
Oh, God, the poor crew, though. What happened to the crew? I think they're still falling. Cut to sound of breaking glass.
Well, there's also a thud sound effect that I laughed my ass off whenever that subtitle popped up on Disney Plus. Oh, I think they're still falling. Thud. And, it's a very light thud, and then all of a sudden you just see the subtitle thud.
We'll be talking about the subtitles in a bit, but I just want to mention this part is the one that made me mad.
Really?
Well,
him with a gun.
Because this is the part where Tennant's doctor is pulling the whole, it's the same shit as he did with the Master in the series 3.
Oh, yeah.
You could do better than this. We could travel in space and time together. You don't have to kill people and be a crazed toy-playing monster. You could be so much bigger than this. And he ends it by saying, and I'm going to just say the thing, you could be celestial.
We could be celestial, but yes.
Yeah, we could be celestial,
Yeah, and okay, this fucking pisses me off. Because this is okay, Kuchiri, you remember how you called RTD being the whole dead name of Rose, of Donna's daughter Rose, as he gave it that meaning to be cute, and you found that fucking morally abhorrent.
I mean,
this is kind of that for me in a sense, because he's taking this name, which has all this controversy behind it, the spacey thing, but he's doing a cute thing where it's like, I know there's a history of racism and shit behind this character, but also I'm going to reference the original title of the story by saying Celestial. And it's like, you don't get to fucking do that.
Okay, I see your point. Uh-oh.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Fair.
This is basically the Toymaker.
It is. But
Yes.
just to play devil's advocate on the point Frezno is upset about, and I'm not trying to play that down. You've every right to be upset about it because, that's your personal feeling. Could this not be Davis's way of trying to reclaim that word with the actual proper meaning the stars? And so when the Celestial Toymaker is mentioned, it's not about, it's a Chinese person.
Right? I'm just going to say, some things shouldn't be fucking reclaimed. They should be left in the fucking dust.
well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Like, if you even go into the original serial, they never call him the Celestial Toymaker. The Celestial Toymaker was just the name of the serial. They never added that word. So this is the first.
Even better. It's the original writer's fault. Great.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You don't know this, Kuchiri, because of cacti, but there has been some bullshit on Twitter where some person, I don't know who it is, they have been just a really long Twitter, like fucking almost novel length. Frankly, should have made a blog if you were going to talk this much. It's like, anyway, talking about the whole production history of here's what they said in the original draft of this, to like debate the whole did they really call him the Celestial Toymaker? And it's like, one, make a blog. Two, when you're sitting on Twitter here, in part 1C of my TED Talk Twitter thread, I will go into depth on page 83 of the script to explain that. It's like, for the love of God, do you really need to go in this in depth to fucking defend this?
No, but they will anyway.
And sure, fine. Maybe.
Why do they defend it?
Why do they defend it? Because it's classic Doctor Who.
No,
Because they also
think they're
defend.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they think they're right.
Oh, God. That's why he is. Oh, you clever bastard, Davis.
Okay, but like, regardless of whether or not the original writer of this script decided to call the character by that name, that's almost immaterial, because every fucking fan work that you see, all that shit that Kat found on that wiki, the comic and the Nightmare Fair and the novels and all that shit, all these fuckers are like, oh no, Doctor Who encounters, I'm not going to say it again, but they say the word, they call him that. It's exactly, and it's almost exactly like the Sea Boys again.
The Colossal Toymaker. There you go. I saved it.
Thank you.
Honestly, what would have saved this character entirely? If the wardrobe department just didn't put him in that outfit.
Yeah. That's a big fucking part of it too, because they called the first episode is called the Colossal Toy Room of that serial, and they put him in that fucking outfit. So it's like, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
And for RTD to both acknowledge the problematic history of this character over the 60 years of Doctor Who fandom, and then sneak in that little winky, nudgy little line, it just made me yell at my television screen like, oh, for fuck's sakes.
Speaking of yelling at our television screen,
Yeah.
that by regeneration.
Yeah.
My God. So this is played perfectly to start off with, because you've got David Tennant doing a David Tennant, don't fight them, your fight's with me, and you own me. One fight, and the Toymaker just blasted with a laser beam.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
literally
I was
as he's about mid-challenge, too.
Yeah, so anyway, he started blasting. But, he's about to build up to the challenge to the game, and he just shoots him, saying, I played the first game with one doctor, I played the second game with this doctor, therefore your own rules decree, I played the third and final game with the next doctor. I'm thinking, oh, what the hell? Is Shooty going to come into it 50 minutes early? That's the end of Tennant?
looks like. Well,
Nah.
it built up to that for all the world. Like when you're sitting there, you feel that when he's finally regenerating, and you've got Donna and I think Mel holding
Mel.
his hand.
Yeah,
They're
Mel
holding
comes up.
a hand.
And
Like
you know,
Donna tells the Toymaker, "Oh, you can shoot me all you want, but I'm not leaving him alone." You know,
which is loyal, and you know, it felt like a good send off for the 14th Doctor.
and he's finally ready to go. He says, "Alonzi, he's ready to go."
And then
This shit happens.
and then it doesn't fucking happen.
He's like, "Oh, this is different." Repeating his father-in-law's line when
Feels different this time.
Let's do the time warp again.
And so then they pull,
then he's like, "Pull my
And-
finger."
and they literally pull
That's the way
shooting
he
Gatwa
delivers
out of
that
his
line.
fucking ass.
It's even better than that. When they're separated, they've got half of the costume each. So Ncuti has no pants for the first 15 minutes of his time as Doctor Who.
No,
Well,
Brain.
we should mention he has pants, but it's the British
Sorry,
version
No
of pants,
trousers. Yeah, no trousers.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yes.
which is really funny
Yeah.
because it implies that David Tennant's Doctor is going commando right now
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
while playing catch.
Which I mean, which would be more appropriate for family Doctor Who? David Tennant going commando, or the new Doctor Who was fucking cock out?
I mean, they wouldn't
I mean,
do that.
Oh, is that a new model?
They could have just been fully clothed. Both of them should have been fully clothed, but yes.
Yeah, they could have also regenerated the clothing.
I mean, the clothing regenerated from 13 to 14 because
Yes, and he's
Oh,
still
no.
down Carol for that, by the way.
let's not have a man in a woman's clothes, even though that same episode had a man in his clothes.
Chibnall is a damn
Absolutely
coward for that.
The idea of David Tennant having to remove a too small bra. Just saying.
Again, Chibnall's a coward for that. But
Coward.
Here
so
it
we now have
is.
two doctors.
RTD was the one that made the decision with the outfit.
We have two doctors. They both challenge Toymaker to a game. And it all comes full circle because we play the first game, as the Toymaker mentioned this during his juggling monologue, saying, you know, the first game was ball. And then 50,000 years later, the last human crushed the skull of his enemy. And that was the last ball.
Oh, no more balls.
Yeah. So they play a game of ball. And I think somebody mentioned it earlier. I forget who. Sorry, it's been a long night. That the Toymaker gets a head start, but Tennant still catches the ball.
I think that's
Kuchiri
Kuchiri.
mentioned that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Kuchiri.
So
They go
the
back and
group-
forth. Ncuti nearly beats David Tennant.
Got cut
No,
off
I'm
there.
on your side. So
I am so sorry. There's
Oh.
a great move when I think Ncuti jumps off Tennant's back.
Other way around.
Yes.
No,
other way
Tennant
around.
jumps off Gatwa's back. Yeah.
Either way, this is an epic scene for just being a game of catch.
Yeah. And you've got the spectators from Unit in the background. It's great.
And so then, Mr.
Oh,
Toymaker.
no. The best part before Frezno, there's a scene where the Toymaker smirks at Gatwa, and Gatwa like does a weird little lip twitch, like in disgust.
Yeah, he smiles with the tube with the master in it, and Gatwa snarls at him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like Gatwa got to show off every single emotion you need to have to be the Doctor during this scene.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna spoil a little bit here. I fucking love the new Doctor Who.
Same.
he's so
Oh my
good.
gosh.
He passed the audition.
I watched it last night and I fell in love. I
Oh,
love
he's
Ncuti
so
Gatwa.
good.
Even in his 10 minutes, he passes the audition. My God. But
Oh, he's amazing.
Anyway, Toymaker loses ball and is banished and
My legions will come.
Yeah.
he's folded up like origami.
Look out, Neil Patrick Harris! It's Flat Fuck Friday.
Oh my God.
Somehow the tooth falls out during all this, and you know, if I had a nickel every time
Yeah.
red fingernail hand picks up something that had the master with it.
Yeah.
People have speculated who this is, and I don't think it matters.
I escaped.
Because when they did this scene back in The Last of the Time Lords, Davis didn't know who was picking up the ring, the Master's ring with his essence in it. He didn't know. He just wrote that in either for himself or the next showrunner if they wanted to bring the Master back.
As it turned out, it was himself.
It turned out it was Mr. Yeah.
Yeah.
It turns out it's some random character called Mr.
And it's
Fusus who's in it for about 2 minutes.
Probably
So it could be that again. Or it
Well,
could be
who knows?
Kate. Or it could be anybody. But
It could
Well,
be
it's not
anybody,
Kate.
but I need to point out that they are currently filming season 3.
yeah, he's right.
Church on Ruby Road aired less than a week ago, and they are filming season 3.
They
Yeah,
aired
I
Ruby,
love
they,
it.
they filmed Ruby Road in January of this year.
Guys, you don't understand. That means that we're gonna get more Doctor Who for once.
Exactly.
Well,
And
I
it's
mean,
gonna be good.
And watch, they'll still limit it to 1 series per year because they suck. But
I mean, it doesn't matter.
No.
No, but the thing is, like, RTD went crazy with Ryan because he does want to make this the Doctorverse. He wants there to be a unit TV
no,
series.
I'm not sure how I feel about the Whoniverse.
I do not like the.
We'll
idea.
get to the Whoniverse soon.
Yeah, I know we will.
Like
but,
next time. But
I just want to mention everything's solved, but here we come to the thing where this is the point of the 14th Doctor, in a sense, and the bi-generation. Doctor Who gives Doctor Who a big hug.
I've got you,
Finally.
he says.
Therapy.
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 Rehabbing out of order.
And everything goes fucking bonkers because reality is still just a little fucky wucky, and so Gatwa is able to pull out a big fuck off hammer and smack the TARDIS and create another TARDIS.
He was
Apparently,
apologizing for
with
doing it.
I love the way that he's so just flirty and confident here, where he's like,
I love
"Oh,
him.
you know what? You get a prize, babe."
He is not holding back, and that's the best part.
Oh yeah,
You get a prize,
Here's a-
honey, and here is mine. Bang!
and then he goes, "I'm so sorry," but apparently that whole scene was leaked
Yeah.
back in June of 2022.
Okay.
That sucks.
I mentioned before we got to recording this that I had a rant.
Uh-oh.
Here's the rant.
Go wild.
So, yeah, I didn't know this because I didn't check the leaks. Thank God I didn't.
Yeah.
But this scene and the scene before it, where he splits it, the Doctor splits into 2, was leaked line by line by people months ago.
A
Ew.
year ago, June of 2022.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
A
why
year
we don't
ago.
hide things.
So people that saw that leak knew this was coming.
Ew.
The leak didn't mention specifically that he divided the TARDIS into 2 TARDISes, but people guessed it
Ew.
based on how the way people reacted. Because Donna goes, that's completely nuts. So that's that, right? We've had leaks before, and this is where I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I have watched leaks of Series 8 before, but I did it
Rain.
after the episode aired.
Go
ahead.
After it aired, I was about to say, Rain watched the Marcelo Carmen Go leaks.
No,
I'm
Well,
sorry,
that's
Rain
all right
watched them
then.
at-
Oh,
there
well,
were
that's all
5
right then.
episodes. I'm going to talk to Neil Patrick Harris. Play that again, Kat.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
There were 5 black and white episodes. The first 5 episodes of Series 8 with Peter Capaldi, and people saw them with no background music, just like generic background music added. It had yet to be added. It was in black and white, and I watched it solely because there was a scene cut from Robot of Sherwood, and that scene was in the leak.
See. Oh, yeah.
Remember
Well,
when robots like gold?
Yeah, the robots wanted gold, and I started laughing my head off.
I never actually watched those leaks, but I knew of them.
I had to get a screen cap of the sheriff with his head off
Right.
and putting it back on as a robot. That
I actively
whole-
do not search for links.
yeah, do not. But they,
I-
they removed
I-
that scene because someone had been beheaded in the UK and thought it was inappropriate. They were right.
Fair.
They were right. Yes, they were
Yeah.
right.
And the way they edited it, you can actually tell he was a robot because he says, I'm too much for you, I'm half man, half engine, which was a lot more effective. But anyway, we're not talking about Robert Sherwood. That's in the past.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
And
now
then
you
just
got me
this
to that
past
flower
month-
again. Thank
Just
you.
this past month, taking it outside the word Doctor Who for a moment, Insomniac. Poor Insomniac has
Oh,
its
yeah.
entire slate of games till 2030 leaked. And people are like, this is great. No, it isn't. People's lives are being ruined here. They were doxxed.
Yeah, that sucks.
What kind of major malfunction in your brain do you have to look at someone's personal details being leaked and go, this is good. They deserve this because they make bad games. What?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Are you a sociopath?
I know that we're just some podunk little show on the internet that maybe like 30 people actually listen to and watch, but like, don't leak shit like at all.
No, leaks ruin for
Don't
everyone.
do it. Because what you're going to do is you're going to leak the wrong thing, which happens all the time, and then they're either going to change it so that nobody knows about it anymore because of the leaks, or they're going to keep it in and you're going to spoil it for yourself and others, and that's just an asshole move.
And now we bring in Frezno, who's going to bring up that gif of Bochi the Rock.
Oh, well, since you asked. 1 second.
I mean, it is appropriate for what we're talking about.
All right. Well, here you go. Hang on. Oh,
But what were
that's
you
the
actually
caption
going to
button
say while you
again.
pull it up?
What were you actually going to say while you present
No,
Bochi the Rock?
I'm actually gonna say it in a second here. But first, here you go.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the pink hair girl for sharing my feelings.
I'd like to get y'all to watch Bochi the Rock sometime. It's only 12
Look,
episodes.
I've got Kamen Rider to finish, and then this the next Kamen Rider apparently, which I didn't say yes to, but
So
apparently
what
we're doing
were you
it
trying to
anyways.
say? What were you trying to say? And then we'll get Kuchiri.
What I'm gonna say is this whole thing about what were you who was which one, it was one he was saying if the leaks come out the wrong way then shit's gonna get changed and it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Chibnall was afraid of back on Broadchurch, where he left the whole mystery open-ended because he was like, oh, if it leaks, well, then everyone will know. So I'm going to leave it open-ended so that if it leaks, I'll have time to change it. And that just explains so goddamn much about the 13th Doctor era.
Chibnall is special. Chibnall is a special case, but
Also,
Kuchiri,
you
do you
feel
have anything to
multiple
say on
endings.
it?
The way around that is you feel multiple endings, and then no one knows which one's the real ending.
Clue.
Okay, Clue.
Well, not just Clue. Scream. It's
Yeah.
one of the biggest, most famous leaks was the fact that because of leaks, Scream 2 had to be completely rewritten from beginning to end.
Really?
And they had, Scream 2 got completely rewritten thanks to the leaks.
So leaks just
That's about
suck,
right.
basically, in general.
Yeah,
Well-
this is why I don't participate in them.
And
At all.
more recently, and Rainiac, I know you're a fan of Super Sentai. We've talked about Dawn Brothers.
Yes.
As you may know, there's a new series, of course, every year, Boom Boonger, that was coming out.
Oh
And
my god.
in the Toka communities, there's people that will get images of posters and stuff before, official releases, and will share them to their friends. And it's like the whole little secret. Oh, this is what they're going to look like. Oh, this is what the final forms are going to be, and all that stuff, right? Someone upset about one of these leakers only sharing it to his friends stole the images and posted them to Twitter.
Ugh.
And now the person who was giving images to their friends for like a decade is facing legal troubles now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What an asshole.
Leakers just suck. Like, if you're trying to share something between a friend group, as long as everybody in the friend group consents to that, that's perfectly fine. It's like, I talk about Doctor Who with Chris all the time, and the first thing I always say to her, do you care about spoilers? Every single time.
Yes. But yeah,
I got
leakers
distracted.
just generally, they just suck. So it's all right. It's out of my system now.
It's like that's one of the things that my brother does. He always does that. Is he loves to look stuff up online and then spoil the shit out of everything for us. And it's like, I told him, if there's something that we're both interested, you're going to shut the hell up, or I'm going to come after you.
I was going to say that is asshole behavior. Not to
Hey
pick on
guys,
your brother, but
you hear about Eris in Final Fantasy VII?
yes.
I heard Dave
Oh
killed
yeah, no,
both
she's
of my
alive now in the
movies.
new games.
Father's Darth Vader.
I think you mean sheriff.
Anyway, I have something to totally derail this discussion and get us from that and then back on track to the ending. And it's this.
Uh-oh.
I hate this.
What?
I hate this with every fiber of my being. What kind of a god would allow this to exist?
Oh my god! I've just seen the scene that's depicted in the Funko Pop. What the hell?
Yes. Why? Why?
Because the people at DC need to go through therapy over all the shit that's been going on. Speaking of therapy, the Doctor went and bought himself a house in the late 1800s. And apparently he's been living in it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was like a thing. That's been the thing in Big Finish.
I was going to say this is just stranded by Big Finish.
Well, they're so there's novelizations of all these episodes, and according to the novelization, I think for like £30, the Doctor bought the house during the climax of this episode. David Tennant's Doctor, the therapy Doctor.
Do you know how much £30 was in 1863? Jesus.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Oh my
Doctor
god,
Who.
it's real. It's real. It's not photoshopped.
I believe. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Cats have.
I hate
Okay.
everything.
Okay, but
I
yeah,
can't.
so Doctor Who gets to fucking retire because holy shit. And here's another thing that kind of irked me is that they get this whole continuity reference horse shit going. They reference fucking Mavic Chen,
Yeah.
which for those of you who do not know, Mavic Chen was a villain in a 60s Doctor Who story. In fact, it was just a little bit before the Toymaker 60s story. It was called The Daleks' Master Plan, and Mavic Chen was secretly working with the Daleks, and he was played by a white guy in some sort of brown face.
Yeah. You
And it
know
wasn't-
Thunderbirds?
Ooh.
I know of them.
You know the Hood?
I know of them.
Mavic Chen's kind of like the Hood.
Yeah.
Except the puppet, the Hood puppet is made to be Asian and has an Asian voice.
Oh god.
Mm,
I don't like that, but I don't I don't like this just raining continuity like seasoning down here. Oh, Mavic Chen and Adric and
Adric was a good call up. That I liked.
well, yeah,
My
but
boy Adric.
oh yes, but
Sarah Jane is gone. Can you believe that?
oh yeah.
What are you talking about? I have great taste. I love the Silent Hill movie. Great.
Yeah.
Joe watched the Silent Hill movie a while back and liked it. So
Yeah. But the upshot is then that this is the Doctor's rest. He's not been able to have a break. He's not been able to take a rest. All the thousands of years of adventuring he's done, he's earned his retirement, and this is his retirement. Go ahead.
Billions.
This rubbed me the wrong way at first, and I needed to wrap my head around it and get my head out of my ass a bit because it kind of felt like they could have done a cynical thing where it's like, now Doctor Who ends, and this other double doppelganger Doctor Who goes off in his place. But yeah, it's not that at all. It's not that.
No, I mean, 15's first line is, I'm me. I think I'm really me.
Yeah.
I am completely me.
So Tennant gets to retire after all the baggage of not just Classic Who, but New Who. And it is a nice little delineation. It's almost like the survival of a New Who in a way. It's just like, and now we get to go off and sail into the sunset. And here's this new man sauntering off to new adventures. It's exactly what I wanted ever since, they announced that Russell T Davies was coming on. It's like, finally, we got through the Tennant stuff. At last, I've earned the new shit. I have another point I want to make, but first, Kat has raised her hand.
Honestly, the way that this is presented, there's going to be some Tennant people out there who are going to get very mad at me for saying this, but it kind of feels like the Doctor has cut off an infection that has been plaguing him for so long, and that infection was in the form of David Tennant's 14th Doctor, where he doesn't have to worry about the Time Lord War, and he's got all that baggage off of him of losing all the people in his life, and basically just setting aside this horrible infection, putting it to rest so that it can learn to heal and get better and everything, while the current Doctor, one could argue real Doctor, gets to go off and have the adventures without all that baggage weighing him down.
Okay, so I both like the scene and I don't, because okay, great. The Doctor gets to have a happy retirement, a happy ending. And that's what I think people were hoping for, one way or another. And then we still get the Doctor to go off and have new adventures, completely brand new adventures, fantastical adventures with Ruby Sunday. Yeah, okay, great. However, I also don't like this, because part of me thinks it's just a cynical move to keep David Tennant in mothballs when we need to pop a rating.
Oh, this is exactly what I was going to bring up. I just remembered it as I was talking. The fact that I was a little bitter because I was sitting here thinking like, okay, well, we do these specials, and then we get Ncuti Gatwa, and then we get the new stuff. So we get just 3 specials of Remember 2008 when the show was good, and then we go on. And in the moment, I felt like they kind of betrayed me in that, because they're like, see, we split Doctor Who. Now David Tennant is just sitting off here forever. We can have a David Tennant cameo whenever we want. He never has to leave. It never has to not be 2008 when the show was good.
Here's the thing. I want there to be a scene where like Ncuti and Ruby is like, almost dead, and then something opens a door, and it just cuts to David Tennant walking away. He's like, "Oh, a friend named Clara taught me that one once," and that's all we see of him in the episode.
Oh my god!
My question to you, Frez, is do you really think that not having David Tennant visible on the show will stop them from continuing to use David Tennant and other things?
I mean, I had to mellow out.
It certainly didn't stop them during Chibnall's.
Well,
yeah, that's true. I that was my initial reaction. I had to mellow out a little bit.
they can now pay him double. They can have another season of the 10th Doctor Adventures and season 1 of the 14th Doctor Adventures with Yasmin Finney.
But like, this is, and again, it's going back to that Whoniverse thing, where it's like, oh God, you really are just setting up for endless content, aren't you? Is the initial feeling I had. Now, if they stick to their guns and they use Tennant like, once every anniversary or something, and not like an every year thing, or hey, here's our new spinoff on Disney Plus, the David Tennant relaxation adventures.
No, I would watch a sitcom.
Oh,
I would
God.
watch a WandaVision with David Tennant and Catherine Tate.
Oh,
Of
No,
him trying
you know
to
what they might
adjust to
do?
be a person.
You know what they might do? They might go back to the educational roots and have him do an educational show.
Well, that's all for the Doctor Who Reviews podcast this week. Now,
oh God, no.
we're nearly at the end, but can I just say that I do like that the final shot we see is not David Tennant relaxing in the sunshine, as nice as that is. It's the new Doctor.
Yes.
And may I just say one final bit of spite. Isn't it interesting how poor 13 couldn't settle down with Yaz because it would just hurt too hard? She has to travel through time and space. She can't just settle down and open up and be vulnerable with somebody. Oh, look, next regeneration. Hey, you should settle down and be vulnerable and just relax. Okay. Once again, we really should have had a fucking Yaz puppet. And here's Yaz, who loved the Doctor, and then she was cut away and given an ice cream cone as compensation.
But the ice cream was pistachio flavored.
Well, that's all right then.
I wonder if David 14 ever goes to those companion meet and greets, and he just sits there, and when they ask him, "Oh, who are you?" "Oh no, I spent like a week with the Doctor."
Oh, God.
Oh, I know the Doctor very, very well. If you guys have any questions for me about him, I could totally tell you everything.
What's your
Hey,
name? Oh, John. John Smith.
Smith.
Wait a minute.
Rainiac,
Hey, can you tell me about this one time where he did this weird thing and it was really weird, and he's just like, I have nothing to say about that at all.
I'll
I
explain
don't know what you're
later.
talking about.
I have no strong feelings either way.
He escaped.
Anything
So,
else? Or what do we think?
Did we all enjoy this episode then?
I guess
For me, it's the second best special.
It was good. I hope, and we got a taste of it during Christmas special. I hope we get more villains like this. Like, we don't need to explain them science fiction. They're just the way they are.
I mean,
Yeah.
looking at the teaser trailer, that's exactly what we're going to get.
Oh yeah. Like I'm not going to get too much into that because I want to save some for children.
Bring on the League of Cosmic Weirdos.
Okay. Well, we should probably like not go one at a time here. I'll just start with my giggle thoughts. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, Neil Patrick Harris is good as the Toymaker. If you had to bring him back, I guess you did a good job at it. It has some prickly politics stuff that's interesting, but it's really only concerned with that for the setup to the Toymakers. which I don't know. But the actual weird shit with the puppet shows and whatnot is good, and it just gets absolutely buck fucking wild with bi-regeneration and Tennant retiring and Gatwa going off for new adventures. So it ends in a great way. I like how it ended with a clean slate. Bring on the new Doctor Who. Bring on Series 1 again.
I also really enjoyed it. I think Neil Patrick Harris is one of the best villains we've had for a long time. He just absolutely aces everything about his portrayal of the Toymaker. There's one or two icky scenes that we've covered, one or two icky ideas, which is kind of part of the course for Davis these days. But for what it is, it's a really fun, rambunctious 1 hour and 1 minute romp. And yeah, it's just fun. And it opens up a whole slate of possibilities for the future, which I'm really excited about.
Hell yeah.
You go ahead, Kuchiri.
No, I already said I thought it was great. I mean, I want more villains like the Toymaker. Like, not like with all the garbage behind it, but, just fun, out there, mythical kind of villains.
Again, bring on the cosmic weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Well, then I guess I get to go. You're going to regret this. So the actual episode itself, huge fan. Obviously, it has some kind of gross stuff in it, stuff that I don't really agree with. But, David Tennant did a great job. And when he finally came along, Ncuti Gatwa, excellent doctor. I cannot wait to start talking about Ruby Road. That was fantastic.
I love him so much.
It's so good. It's so good. And honestly, I enjoyed the entire trio of episodes. What I didn't like was what I was told afterwards about it.
Well,
And again, this is not on you, Kuchiri. You're just the messenger, and I'm not. I don't take the point of shooting the messenger. But there was some stuff put out that I really didn't like, and so I'm kind of a little bit wary about what RTD is possibly going to do, especially with this whole Whoniverse thing. It's like we get it, Disney. You're a content farm. Please don't do that to our favorite show.
No, that's not Disney wanting it. That's
I know.
RTD said back in 2020 that, Doctor Who should be as big as the MCU.
No.
That's what David said back during the pandemic.
No.
You might have said that, but no.
He's wrong.
And it's like, I don't remember exactly where you saw this, Kuchiri, but you said something, I think like it was on Twitter.
No, he said during one of the podcasts about the Giggle that he believes right when the bi-generation happened, it happened to every single doctor all at once.
No.
No.
I think people were taking that line a little out of proportion or context. Or
I really hope it was, because
they were, but also no.
Oh yeah,
I can get over Timeless Children. I can get over that, because while it is changing the Doctor Who canon, it is not exactly something that is on screen. Every single regeneration has been on screen. You're basically trying to retcon our visuals.
Timey-wimey?
No, it's bullshit.
Timey-wimey?
I think it's said it was on alternate universes, but it's still bullshit.
Yeah, and you wanted to tie the Tales of the TARDIS into that shit as well, which
yeah,
no.
So I came up with a theory 2 weeks before this episode aired, thanks to the Tales from the TARDIS, that there was going to be some fucky-wucky during this episode, and the 14th Doctor was still going to be around.
Well, there certainly was that.
Yeah.
So, called it.
Congratulations.
You perfectly called it. You did perfectly call it. I still hate the idea that every single Doctor bi-regenerated into who the fuck knows.
Hey, Kuchiri predicts the future accurately. That's great. Burn the witch!
Burn them.
No, but it's something that I believe Colin Baker says, or Sylvester McCoy during the Tales, is like, oh, there's some worlds where I regenerated, some worlds where I didn't.
Well, that's just multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And I
see,
mean-
that's what my original theory was during the battle of the Toymaker, there was going to be something that was going on, and I thought that this was going to be a thing throughout the specials, like back in after the first trailer was David Tennant and Ncuti Gatwa was just going to keep on swapping from each other.
Oh god,
No.
I'm just imagining in my head now the scene in the Doctor Who TV movie where Sylvester McCoy generates into Paul McGann, and just him on the table, the mortuary table, and it just waits and goes, "Who the hell are you?" And floppy haired weirdos next to him.
But yeah, so I thought that it was going to be one of the mysteries of the specials was David Tennant sneezes and all of a sudden he's Ncuti Gatwa sneezes back to Tennant, and the two of them were trying to figure out what was going on. And I thought something was going to happen with the Toymaker where, during the final confrontation, it was going to be the Toymaker versus either Tennant or Gatwa, whoever was controlling the body at that certain time.
Right.
Rain just casually has an accident while we're talking.
Something fell off my chair, but don't pay any attention. It's fine.
It wasn't you, was it?
But the thing is,
No.
when we were going to this, I knew that, of course, they were going to find some way to keep the 14th Doctor, because the 14th Doctor only really was alive for less than a day. Going off of what, from Power of the Doctor to, the random special to these 3 episodes, the Doctor was only, the 14th Doctor was only really alive for a day. So, they had to come up with some way to keep him around. So I thought it was going to be a multiverse thing. But I still basically called it, but yeah. Anyway.
It honestly depends on what they do with the Whoniverse. If they want to have a Torchwood style spinoff with better people in it, okay, fine. I probably won't watch it. I mean, we've had Doctor Who spinoffs before. We've had Class, we had Sarah Jane Adventures, we had the K9 Australian show, we had, obviously Torchwood. They've had the mini specials and stuff like that. I'm fine with spinoffs. I probably won't watch them, but I'm fine with spinoffs.
Unless
The part that hang on. The part that gets really iffy to me is when they do start doing the Marvel thing. Marvel's worlds are very intricate, exceptionally intricate, but every single issue is one story, unless you have a group like it's the Avengers issue or something like that. So what they have you do is they have a little thing in there where if an event happens and they talk about it in a say a Spider-Man comic, then underneath they'll put a little asterisk that says, see issue blah 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 of this one, in order to be able to figure out what the fuck is going on. I don't want them to do that with Doctor Who. I don't want there to be canon relevant things in these spin-offs where you have to go over and you have to watch this series in order to be able to understand what the hell is going on in the main series.
And I mean, this is kind of the problem that Marvel had at the moment when they started doing the Disney shows, where before it was okay, so you go to 2 or 3 movies a year to follow up on this continuing story. But now it's do that and watch 4 seasons of television a year.
Yeah.
You gotta, for example, if you want to get the full thing out of the Marvels, you gotta have watched all of the MCU up to that, Captain Marvel and Infinity War and stuff. But then you also had to have watched the Miss Marvel show and the WandaVision show because of Monica Rambeau, and then it was just and God knows what the fuck else, and it's starting to make kind of the bottom fall out of Marvel because the Marvels didn't do so well.
Well, they did it with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they'd have random episodes tie into various different Marvel films that came out that year. So,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of it was off on its own.
Canon.
It was off.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s not canon.
Yeah, it was off on its own little universe.
It says it is because it literally references the MCU movies.
Well, no.
Yeah.
The MCU is canon to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon to the MCU.
Exactly.
Well, how does that work?
It just does, Ray. But
They've
already introduced. I was cracking up laughing at Kat saying Ray Cashley has an accident.
Make that an Always Sunny title card.
No, but look back to Doctor Who. RTD's done this before in a way. The series 4 finale was basically all the spin-offs crossing over with Doctor Who, and you could still follow it if you had a cursory idea of who these characters were. I mean, you already knew about the Torchwood thing because Jack showed up, and you already knew Sarah Jane was around because of the school reunion. So these were already seeded into the main show, so you didn't need to like watch all of Sarah Jane and all of Torchwood to understand what was happening in the series 4 finale. Whereas with Marvel, you kind of do, unless you watch WandaVision and Ms. Marvel, you're gonna be like, well, who the hell is this?
Yeah, and then if you watch WandaVision, you have to watch Multiverse of Madness, and then you'll understand about all the stuff that happens in there. It's like it gets to be a huge confusing mess, which the comics do as well. You have to go back and forth.
You end up hitting burnout with it, where it's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm waiting for Deadpool 3, and that's all I'm waiting for right now. Like, I still have to watch Loki season 2 though.
Like, I haven't watched Marvel since WandaVision because I'm just like,
fair. And Miss Marvel, you had to have watched.
You made the right choice.
Yeah. That was about it.
Look, Kuchiri, go ahead.
To be fair, Multiverse of Madness didn't watch WandaVision.
Yeah, fair point.
Okay, I'm gonna
one last point on the Giggle before we move on to what comes next. The scene right at the end with the new TARDIS or the two TARDISes, and the new TARDIS, Shooty's TARDIS, has a wheelchair access ramp
and a jukebox.
Yeah, well, people got really upset about the wheelchair access ramp. Oh, it's woke bollocks. Listen, as someone whose mother used a wheelchair for the last 2 minutes of her life, fuck you.
Oh no, we can get more of one of the greatest characters of the specials. Surely.
It's not just for her either. There's another character who might use a set of wheels that might be going into the TARDIS later on.
But also, literally, they got the idea of this. They were talking to, I don't know their name, Fairies. That's it. Who's a wheelchair user and a Doctor Who YouTuber / professional fan.
And did Fairies like this idea?
I think Fairies was fucking on set when saw it.
Oh wow!
Now it's a game of telephone. Don't quote me on that. You should probably when you're editing, dig through their Twitter feed and see if you can dig this shit up. But I'm pretty sure that they had some input on this or were in consideration. But even if you ignore that, the fact that when we got the new TARDIS set in Starbase and it was full of ramps, like I obviously said, and they had a character who used a wheelchair, I'm like, oh well, that's obviously they're making it wheelchair accessible. Okay. Yeah.
And also Ruth Madeley was very excited about the ramp, and basically she tweeted saying something like, for every kid who dreamed that they couldn't get into the TARDIS because they were in a wheelchair or they were disabled, this ramp is for you. And people had to go at her for that, and
fuck's sakes.
God, people are shit.
Honestly, I said this before. I think in I don't remember if I said this in Wild Blue Yonder or if I said this in Star Beast, but the world as a whole is not very wheelchair accessible. It is not handicapped accessible at all. And the more strides we can show we could do to show more positivity towards people who are disabled, be it visible or not, the better, in my opinion. So yes, I like the ramp on the
like me either. The number of times I've had to duck down because somebody's put like a low-hanging banner indoors.
Right. I know this is a serious topic, but I'm sorry, I can't help it. The first thing that popped in my head was, do people make fun of you for the way you drive your automobile?
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, you climb out the car.
It was the
cheapest climb out my car in a tight space. It's literally that scene.
It was the cheapest other you could afford. Should you therefore be made the subject of fun?
Brainiac.
Yes, Kuchiri?
Whenever, if we ever hang out with these guys and Pete in person, if they ever ask for something from the top shelf, I'm going to remember this. Just
I get asked to people. I get asked in the supermarket to get things from the top shelf all the time.
Same.
What I can reach the top shelf,
and I'm fine with it. But also, it happens all the time.
Mood.
Oh yeah, no. Once a trip to Walmart, I'm getting stuff off the shelf for people.
I think I just quit. Like I should be on 10% at this point because everyone has to be.
You tall kids, you. Anyway, if there's nothing else, Rainiac, where can you find this lovely people?
You can find us lovely people on Twitter with one obvious exception. At Reviews Doctor. Well, technically his account is still up. He just can't post anything new to it.
No, that's weird. Like I can't access my account. Like I'm banned, but he doesn't have it shut down for some
You
weird
can
reason.
look, but no touching.
I can't even look. I can't even go on Twitter. Like
No, he can't look, but we can. Anyway, you can find us individually at Rainiac the Maniac, at Frezno Inferno, at Concave Usurper, and Frezno.com/Kuchiri. There you are. I salvaged it. If you want to see the new stuff he's got to give to the world, and not like the old stuff.
My escape pod is Blue Sky, but good on you.
Yeah.
This
is Kuchiri's by generation. This is
Same,
Kuchiri's by generation. His Twitter account still exists, but now he migrates to Threads.
And I'm also on Blue Sky.
There you go.
Tri-generation. Bloody hell.
I didn't know I was well off.
You can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rainiac, /Freezing Inferno, /Concave Usurper, and /Kuchiri. I'm doing it again. The Kuchiri. Definitive article. I get it. By the Terror for the Trees by Sean Dillon. By volumes 1 and 2 of Back to the Vow by Lena Fenrir McTeer. By Cheryl the Garfray, by those two, and Freezing Inferno, and a whole bunch of other talented folks. And we'll see you next time, or I should say next time, we're going to be discussing The Church on Ruby Road, the Christmas special.
The new Doctor Who!
Spoilers! It's pretty great.
Spoilers.
It's so good.
Spoilers. I fucking love him.
He is.
Well, that's all right then.
Say goodnight, Rainiac.
Say goodnight, Neil Patrick Harris.
I don't have a button for that.
Good, I beat you.
I was
We'll see you next
born
time.
in the